June 15, 2026, 10:43 p.m. QIJ 335 is my Ford Expedition. It's for x.com/WADES2ND is my social media, and this will be for the video. YouTube.com/@ WADEALANHEINEMN. Wade Allen Heineman, 54 years old, never been in the military, never been married, not been on a plane or jet since 2011, never been a smoker, never been a pot smoker, never been into drugs, never been married, never been with a male, transgender child, sexually or romantically, never will be. And you can see there's that little trailer again. Yard light, trailer, woods, and back to QIJ. Not worked for anyone since 2018. Never been gay nor female, nor LGBTQIA. Always male. Never been LGBTQIA. I'm Wade Allen Heineman, born 11/4/71 in Iowa. Get in here, and we'll do the 10.7-inch hand thing. Scarred finger. Ford Expedition. And let's see if I can find a flashlight here. You can see the 10-pound, 14-pound diamond. And over here's the other one that's backwards, so I can't. There it is. I can see that. There's the crystal. Some of the other ones down here. Some cat food out of the way and some granola. Again, they're scuffed because they're all diamonds. They all have a crust because they're alluvial diamonds. And I wrote some stuff after. I've been watching videos of people struggling financially in USA, and I know it's been getting worse and worse, and I just wanted to try and write some things that, knowing what I know, going through, my sister's suicide and being a little bit suicidal myself after that for a few years, and then committing to not committing suicide. You make the commitment to not commit suicide, and then it makes things easier. And then I just wrote some things that could help someone that is maybe younger or stuck in a place that they're unhappy with, to make a change. And I know it's difficult to find work and money, but if you're not happy, if you're really unhappy with your job, maybe there's, maybe try and consider something different. If there's anything different you consider, or if there's anything you've thought of that might make that you love that you've never done, try and get to that place that you've never been, that you want to go to, that you always wanted to visit, or, if it's somewhere in the USA that's, you can find a way to get there, or to maybe check out a new place that new place, like a city or an area that you think you might want to work in, and then just scour those places for jobs or somewhere you might want to work. Because work is not going to fulfill most people. Your job is not going to fulfill most people. And what they're doing with corporate right now, as I've posted, they're the people that are really controlling corporations behind the scenes are focused on depopulation in the earth. And I know that's depressing, but try to think about accept the truth, and then be hopeful in as long as you can, and enjoy the moments you can, and find the things that you love to do, or the places that you love to be, and focus on those things and the things you can do, and keeping in mind what the truth is. I understand the depression part of it. I've been through that in my life because of my sister's suicide, because of energy attacks, being isolated for the last 10 years. and the energy attacks for 13 years, and people destroying my life by trying to steal my ideas and staging lies. And I'm talking to people of all colors, because all the people that are on these videos are black, white, Hispanic, Latino. They're all different colors, people. And I've never been racist. And I feel like, people are just trying to paint me in that because of my PTSD and because there are people of all colors that have defrauded me. And I don't hold anything against any good person of any color. Anybody that's trying to do something in their life that is worthwhile, that they're trying to live a life where they're not trying to, destroy other people, like the people that have just tried to destroy me, whether they're white or black or Hispanic or Latino. I'm not focusing on one race that have destroyed me. It's just, certain people want me to look bad, so they focus on, when I react to a certain race or something, when it's one of the black people, they tend to focus on that more so than they do when it's the motorcycle riding fraud, or the people that are around here that defraud me, the younger people that break in and steal. And I get as angry at those people as I do with the two or three black people and the 2 or 3 Mexican or Hispanic people and the 2 or 3 Asian people that have been defrauding me. So I'm not any angrier or dislike any race any more than the other. It's just I get very frustrated with the fraud and the people stealing from me because I've been isolated and tortured with energy assaults, and then on top of it, they try and steal my life. So I just want to try and, it's not a cure-all. My words are not a cure-all. I understand that. Some people are in really bad situations. Some people are in really unhappy situations. I can't be a cure-all for everyone. I just want to reach who I can reach. It's not possible that I can reach everyone. And I just want to, convey to them, try and get into their mind that there are things in life you could enjoy yet. And maybe years down the road, you realize that you made it through one night when you didn't think you were going to, and you enjoyed. There are places you got to see and things you got to do in life that you never thought you could do. And that's what I'm trying to convey. I don't want to try and seem like I'm going back on my word about how awful the situation is in the USA. I still feel that way. It's just I'm trying to get to young people and show, that I have some experience in being depressed and in bad situations myself, and trying to convey to them, suicide is not gonna, you're not, if you do suicide, you can't have no chance at seeing something beautiful in this world, or going somewhere you always wanted to go, or doing something you always wanted to do. Maybe it's not possible today. Maybe it's something you can work up to going somewhere, and maybe you can do it very quickly, and I'm not telling you to take risks you shouldn't take, but, there is amount of a risk in every day in life, and trying to figure out what you can do. I'm injured from energy attacks. If I wasn't, you'd seen a whole different side of me this last year. People would, that I would have been working on my properties. And once I would have gotten control over that, of getting my properties in order, I could have been much more generous with my life and my resources. But now I can't again, because they tortured me with energy attacks and disabled me for over a year. I didn't deserve it again, and my leg is still injured. And they hit me enough in 2026 that they're not healed yet. So I just wanted to say, I understand if my words are not helping somebody at this point. I understand, because I've been in situations where no words would help me either. I just had to get through. 2017 was an awful year for me, being alone, and my friend having helped fraud steal my digital files, and not my brother having turned his back on me and found out he had been lying about me for 20 some years, and my parents on and off, because of the situation. I've explained it before, but my parents do things that are the most hurtful of anyone because they're my parents. They don't understand that, apparently, that they can hurt me more than anyone, or maybe they do understand it. I don't know for sure, but sometimes though that's the most painful situation. And my parents can be extremely generous at times, and at times they can be extremely the worst thing for me in my entire life. And that's not exaggerating. You know, even the energy attacks come in second when it comes to my parents, when they do things that destroy how I feel regarding my life, because I'm in this struggle for 13 years, and they do things that make it much worse as far as, you know, not helping my getting the truth out to people and making that more difficult, much more difficult at times. So I know I can't be a cure-all for everybody. I just want to reach who I can reach, and I hope people that are suffering find a way to make money and survive. And then, you know, through my 20s, I barely scraped by. You know, there was many times I didn't have enough money for anything in my 20s. I couldn't pay rent. We did that too. You know, Generation X, we had, you know, we barely scraped through the work environment, and because you're starting out. I went on minimum wage jobs until I was 20, 25. No, I mean, I was a little bit above minimum wage when I worked at Frito-Lay, but not significantly. I think at the most, I made $10 an hour there. And before, it didn't start out at 10. It was like 8 something. And before that, it was $5.35. You know, so we went through these struggles too. Generation X did. I worked 2 jobs more than once, and those 2 jobs didn't make me over $25,000 in a year. In that time, it was the most. I think it was maybe 20,000 with the 2 jobs in 1997, possibly. I don't know. I don't know if I made that much. So, you know, all through my 20s, I scraped by until I got a full-time inspector job with City of Dubuque. And then I was making $35,000 a year. And then that was plenty for me to get my budget under control. And I had a working budget. I went by my budget every week, and I was saving money in 2000 to 2001, 2002. And I bought a house in 2002, and then I bought a house with my fiance too. So I ended up having 2 houses when I was 31. And then my sister committed suicide. So then I went through 10 years of my life being destroyed because of that. And it's not a dramatic thing if anybody's been through a sibling that committed suicide. It just it can destroy your life. I didn't handle it well. Other people in my family handled it better than I did, functionally. Like, I just couldn't function. I lost my will to live for a while. I had a girlfriend that was a pathological liar that I picked up after my sister died, was either committed suicide or was murdered. Then I lost my career job. Then I picked up the pathological liar female, and I hit rock bottom, and I was thinking about pulling my vehicle into a bridge embankment and killing myself. So I checked myself in the mid-2000s. And then for a few years, on and off, I would think about suicide. And then recently, in the last few years, I committed to not committing suicide. It occurred to me to just say, I'm just never going to do that. And whatever I have to do to get through that day is what I got to do. And I think that was after 2017, because 2017 was a horrific year for me. I got an OWI in 2016 because my former friend, my best friend of 20 plus years, was helping the frauds. And I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe my best friend of 20 plus years was helping fraud steal my digital files because he wanted to go on some vacations. And that just tore me down to the bottom. I was alone. I didn't have a girlfriend because they'd been hitting me with energy attacks already and destroying my life already back then. So I know what it's like to get through one night and get through another night and get through another day and get through another night. And when you commit to not committing suicide, it takes that away. And it takes away that choice. And then you just have to do what you have to do to get through that night or that day. So I see the suffering out there, and I just want to reach who I can reach. I don't want people to think that everything I say is what they need to do. I want it to open up their minds if they're stuck, if they're young and they don't know what to do, or if they're stuck. If there's something you've ever thought of you might love to do, where some place you might love to go, or some skill you might love to do, start doing it as quickly as you can. Start getting to that goal, because we're all only here for a limited amount of time, whether it's 100 years or 50 years or less. And I've outlived Elvis, and I've outlived James Dean, and I've outlived a lot of these famous people. And I think about that sometimes because they achieved a lot of great things in their time. But surviving and continuing to do things like my physics theories or science theories, poems, blogs, inventions, that's why I fight so hard for recognition on those, because I don't want someone fraudulently taking credit for my hard work, blood, sweat, and tears over my life. That is I went through my own torture for those things, aside from being assaulted with energy attacks. That was my own sacrifice that got me to where I could come up with physics theories or science theories, poems, blogs, inventions. That is my hard work. That is not, that was not gifted to me. I strived for that. I took, many classes. I spent so many nights writing in my notebooks, poems, thinking, working things out, and reading too. I don't read every year, and I get criticized for that now, that there's some fraud that reads piles of books and claims I can't read. So whoever's the one claiming that I can't read, that's probably your fraud. I just don't know who it is. But, Einstein's ideas came from trains, being on trains and feeling the motion of the trains. And Newton's ideas of gravity came from seeing an apple fall. And some say it hit him on the head, and some say it didn't. But it didn't come from reading books. Books are other people's ideas. And most of the time, creative breakthroughs like Einstein, Newton, or my physics theories or science theories don't come from books. They come from experiencing the physical world. So, I don't know who the reader is that's trying to claim that that's how you come up with theories, but they didn't come up with them. I did. I don't know who they are, but so hopefully I can reach someone. There's been indications along the way, since 2015 that I've reached some people and inspired some people, and I hope that's true. That's what I want my legacy to be. I don't want my name on a library, or that's not. I would never. That would never be a big vision of mine, to have my name on a library or a plaque or anything like that. If I ever get that, that'd be great. But it's not anything that I care to spend my time working toward. My legacy, and I believe the strongest legacy for anybody, is to inspire others in their lives to see the light of their own life, so that they're not stuck doing something they don't want to do their whole life and resenting the world instead of finding the thing that they love, something that they love. And I know, it's not, this is not created equal. This world is not. But you might be able to find something you love, and it might make it all worth it. And then you can find something else you love and find a way to make it happen. That's what I'm trying to say. And I understand what's going on in the world, and I want people to accept the truth of what's going on, but at the same time, know that anything's possible. And we're the 93% that should not be beating each other up. And I know it's going to happen anyway. Some people are going to beat up the other part of the 93% of us. But if we work together, we can have a future that is better than what it is now. And that's all. At 21 minutes, this is my longest by far for a long time. But still here, half mile north Fairbank, LV68. No sexual contact since 2018. No physical contact. Don't know any motorcycle riders. I've never been married, whatever the stage lies, and I would never be with a male transgender child intimately or sexually. Never have, never will, whatever the stage lies. And no friendship since 2016. I'm alone. I'm still alone since 2017. My life has gotten better since 2017, even though I'm still being tortured with energy attacks. There's a lot of good moments that I've had as far as writing theories and just there's a lot of good moments that I've just had in nature to look at what the world produces, what this world is. So I just hope anyone that's stuck right now, whether you're young and you just need a way to make money so that you can do something that you love, some things outside of work that you love. You may not get fulfillment out of work because it's rare to do that. It's really rare to get fulfillment out of work, or most of it comes from when you're not at work, and you don't have to work full time. Find your cheapest way that you can live, a place where you can live and function, the cheapest way, and where you can find a job, and then a way to get to something that you love to do, or a place that you want to be, or you think you want to be, or at least check out and explore. I'm just trying to get people unstuck is what I'm trying to do. So if my advice doesn't ring for you, I understand. And if you're venting because what I say doesn't sound good to you, I understand it, because I was so stuck in 2017 that nobody could have said anything that would have helped me. So I just want people to know that. Anyway, have a good night. It is, again, and I'm not super positive every day. I just happen to be a little bit more positive today. So 6:15:26 p.m. Almost be after 11 p.m. now. Got my parents' red and white barn home. I parked here because it's well lit, and the place that I normally stay isn't.